Hey everyone, it's Alyssa. Sorry about the delay. YouTube changed something and makes you use an encoder or something to live stream. So I'm just going to record this and you can ask me questions later if you have any. I wanted to just do this really quick introduction so I can just give you a little information about me, why I want to do this Wanderlust Workers program, and what I hope to accomplish for you, I guess, out of it. Because I guess I'm not really accomplishing anything besides helping you. But that's an accomplishment for me, so I'm happy. Also, I don't normally sound like this. I'm a little bit sick somehow, but I'm here in the lovely Squaw Valley. I'll show you. Super excited about it because I have been brought here by GoPro for the launch of the new GoPro drone. So it's a pretty big milestone for me personally. But moving right along. That being said, hi, I'm Alyssa. I'm a full-time travel blogger and social media influencer. Blah blah blah. One thing I wanted to say was that a lot of people kind of think of what I'm doing as lucky that I got to do it or I'm getting to do it as if I just, had it plopped down on my lap. But that is not the case. I actually have worked very hard nonstop, and I still do, about 12 to 15 hours a day for the past 2 years to get to where I am now, which is full time, getting paid to travel, whatnot. But anyway, the point of this program is that I'm going to show you what I was doing work wise to save and make money so that I could get to this point. Basically, I worked a ton of freelance jobs, which I'm going to be teaching you in week two. I pretty much didn't have a social life, because I would save all my money, didn't go out much, anything like this. But what I learned is that if you kind of get a hold on your spendings and how much you're making and see how much you need to be making, and not don't rely on just one job. Like, you have this one job and that's what's going to pay for everything. I was working probably 10 freelance jobs at once. I was there being my place out. I was selling all my stuff just so that I could travel. So there's a lot of ways you just kind of have to commit to it, keep yourself motivated, or get motivated through the group, hopefully. And yeah, keep on trucking, keep working hard, and that's really what will get you ahead. And no complaining. The number one thing I can't stand is when people complain, or they say that again. Oh, this person's lucky, or oh, you got that, so whatever, good for you. But it's really not about luck. It's really not. I don't consider myself lucky, aside from being lucky that I can get U.S. passport, as opposed to some countries that you're not even able to really leave the country. So that's as far as I believe in luck. Everything else I've done on my own, always have, and that's what put me ahead. So yeah, on my list. Okay. So like I said, I worked freelance jobs to make money, to pay rent, and to travel. So yeah, pretty much I have a degree in biology. I don't use it, clearly. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I just didn't want to be in an office. So that's where I started looking into working online. And I found that there's so many opportunities to make money online. So that's a big part of this course. Speaking of which, I'll quickly go over the outline that I'm hoping to accomplish, and briefly touch on the fact that the point of the Facebook group is so that everyone can stay along with this program, so that it's organized, everyone's on the same page, and you're actually learning and like doing stuff. I don't want to sound bossy or like huge bitch, but I'm in a lot of travel groups on Facebook, and a lot of them are great because everyone can talk about travel and share random posts. But I do want there to be an outcome for this. I want you to actually be able to save money, be able to make additional money, and actually be able to travel. I don't really think it's fair for people who really do want to do this program to not be able to keep up, because there's constant feeds going on. So don't worry, I will have threads where you can share certain topics, but I just ask that you please keep them for those threads so we can keep everything organized. Okay, so moving right along. So yeah, first, let me see here. First week is gonna start tomorrow, Monday. Um, really quick, I'm gonna try to post all the information for that tomorrow. But please keep in mind that my job is full time travel blogging and traveling, which means I don't have a lot of downtime. I'm doing this project solely because I had this revelation the other day that my goal like in life is to not just for me to travel, but I provide tips, information for other people to travel as well. But if people can't afford to travel, then it kind of defeats the purpose. So a reason why I really wanted to do this was I also want to help people be able to afford the things that I'm influencing to do. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense. Um, so yeah. So the first week starts tomorrow. I'm going to be doing the GoPro event all day, but hopefully you'll be able to get started. I'll try to check in as much as possible. Check my Snapchat. I'll give some little shout outs to anyone who accomplished their first homework last week, which was to open or designate a travel savings account. If you already have a savings account, great. Change the label on it to travel. If you can't open an account for some reason, you can use PayPal as an account. Some people are also just using an Excel sheet to keep track of all the things that I'm telling you to do. First thing that I'm asking that you do is write down your current income. You don't have to say it. You don't have to tell me. I don't want to know. But write it down for you to know. And in another column next to it, write down everything that you have to pay on a monthly basis. So rent, insurance, credit cards, student loans. By the way, a lot of people also say, "Oh, I can't travel. How do you travel so much? How do you afford it?" And I say, "I work," and they say, "Yeah, I do too, but I have bills and I have this and I have student loans." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, so do I." I have a biology degree, Bachelor of Science. I'm still paying off that I'm not using, and I have 2 credit cards I still have to pay off. So you're not alone. You're not, any more or less, in the same boat as anyone else. Everyone has things they need to pay for, and no one has tons of money to just go blow on travel. So that's the point of this group too, is to realize that you are not separate from anyone else. There are people all over the world in this group even that you can see that are all in the same boat. They want to travel, but it's hard to save money and it's hard to make money. I know that. Everyone knows that. Let's just do something about it and get it off the table. So anyway, as soon as you figure out your monthly income, your monthly have to have expenses, subtract those expenses from your income, and whatever you have left, I want you to take 50% of it, if you can, on a weekly basis to put towards your travel savings. It's going to be a little hard because the second part of this is that we're going to have to learn how to do a spending diet, which means you're going to also need to write down everything you spent money on. Last week was the preliminary week. So don't think about it yet. Just spend like you normally would, just so you can see at the end of the week what you're spending money on and what you could have saved and put towards your savings account. So then in week 1, what you're going to do is anything that you're about to spend money on, you're going to not, hopefully. And instead you're going to just write down what it was, how much it would have costed. Don't buy it. And then at the end of the week, you're going to add up that money, and you're going to take all that money that you would have spent on random crap, like Starbucks, and a shirt, and I don't even know what, and your nails. I don't know, paint your nails yourself. And you're going to take that chunk of money, and you're going to put it in your savings fund, along with the percentage that you took from your income that you designated to put in the fund as well. Sounds confusing, but we'll get into that next week. So week 2 is going to be the fun part because all of you are going to get another job. Sounds a lot of fun, right? I actually really liked finding freelance jobs. I worked every type of job from writing freelance content for websites on topics I had no idea about with Google. I wrote for a jewelry brand. I wrote for a stock market website, just writing content. So as glamorous as my job seems now, it wasn't all travel focused initially. So anyone, especially you guys who are trying to be aspiring travel bloggers, don't just focus on the travel first. I mean, focus on travel to build your own stuff, but you gotta work for other people before you can work for yourself, like I currently am. Sucks, but gotta do what you gotta do. That being said, also for all of you aspiring travel bloggers, travel blogging is basically a writing job. So if you're wanting to write, that's your passion, that means you're a writer, start writing content for other people. You'll get paid for it. For everyone else, we'll figure out what skills you have. You probably don't even know half of the skills that you do have that people are willing to pay you for online. From anything from being a virtual assistant to someone to even making Pinterest graphics. There's so much stuff out there. I pay someone to make my Pinterest graphics sometimes. They're not really that good at it, so I end up making them myself. But anyway, so that's week 2. You're going to find a job, and then everything you make from this freelance job is going straight to your travel fund. So now you'll have 3 pieces of money puzzle that you'll be putting in your travel fund by week 2. Week 3. Another fun part. You're going to learn all of my cheap travel hacks. So now, of course, being a full-time travel blogger, I usually get to travel either free or now I'm getting paid to travel, which is cool. But I also still go to a lot of places on my own. And before this point, I fully funded all of my own travels, which means I learned a lot of cheap travel hacks, which helps a lot because that goes towards the savings portion of your travel fund. It's always good to make your money last as long as you can, and it's definitely possible, which is why I stayed out of the U.S. for so long, 2 months, just got back yesterday, because it was so much cheaper to live in Bangkok in a nice apartment than it would be anywhere in the U.S. So that'll be fun. Yeah, okay, then week 4, this is going to be your final week of the program. You're going to keep going. I estimate that you should continue this savings program type thing for 4 months before you have that big chunk of change that you can spend on a trip. I estimate for 4 months doing this, you probably will be able to save around $2,000 if you keep up with the program. If you start getting sidetracked, you start complaining, you're not going to get this $2,000 travel fund. If you keep up, you keep motivated, and you keep trying, you do the hard work, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to save that much money. So week 4, we're going to make sure everyone's up to speed. We're going to see if anyone's having problems. We're going to figure it out. And then we're going to make your milestone calendar for the remaining 4 months so that you stay on track with what you're supposed to be doing and how much you should be saving by certain points. So yeah, that's the overall program. Hope it doesn't sound too complicated. Again, I'm not just doing this for fun. Well, kind of doing it for fun, but this is taking, a big portion of my time and focus and dedication. So I really hope that everyone who actually does want to participate actually, follows with the program. And also I am going to try to get as many of my travel contacts as I can to hopefully give me some discounts or freebies or little prizes for people who complete their milestones or goals throughout the program. And also I'm going to try to see if I can work with a few different tour companies and stuff to see if I can get some sort of discount on tour packages as well, if any of you want to go that route. So yeah, I think that's it. I probably have more to say, but yeah, I just wanted to give you a face-to-face meeting. Sorry I couldn't do a live conference, couldn't figure it out, stupid encoding thing. But I'm going to try to set up another website I found where it's a live conference call so that I can actually see you and you can see me, and we can type at the bottom if you have a question, anything like that. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. It didn't take up too much of your day. Hope you guys all have a fabulous Sunday. I'm going to go play with some new GoPros and some drones and hopefully go skydiving and paddleboarding and other fun stuff. But yeah, it's just whatever you do, stay motivated and never forget that dreams don't work unless you do. Bye-bye.